talk about Baobabs.
The whole reason why I decided to come to Madagascar was in order to see the Avenue of the Baobabs. Long ago, I saw a photo of this place online, and it was so beautiful that I actually thought that the photo was fake. This site has been on my bucket list for years now, and I was really excited to get a chance to see it. This place is located way out in the western part of the country, and we flew into the east. So during my entire trip in Madagascar, I was slowly inching my way to the final destination, the Avenue of the Baobabs. So I'm in Miranda right now. The area is very divided. So you'll see like grass shacks, you probably see some of them, where people are like living and like selling stuff right next to like a big hotel. So here's a big hotel right behind me. I feel like this was like a very rural area, and then they made it touristy. So you have like locals living a very simple life, but then you have like these beach bungalows and like big hotels and stuff. We are not typical tourists. We do not like the beach. You know, our driver, he tried to take us to a beach bungalow, and we're like, we don't give a shit. Like, we don't care. We're here for fruit. We're fruit nerds, not beach nerds. But the reason why we're here is that here is where the... Hello? This is where the Avenue of the Baobabs is, which is like the iconic site of Madagascar. This is one of the few occasions where a fruit hunting destination is also a major tourist destination at the same time. So we're going to a very touristy place in order to see a site that we really want to see, because it's a really cool fruit destination as well as just like a destination for the country. So we're at a baobab shop. We are going to buy some baobabs. These big ones here are 1,000 ariani, which is 30 cents. I think some of them are different species, we just don't know which ones are which. So we're just gonna get some, I guess, randomly and try them. This is the baobab. Check it out. It's a very interesting looking fruit and a very interesting looking tree. These fruits have very long stems on them, and when they hang from the tree, they have a very bizarre appearance. In Australia, they call these dead rat fruits because it looks kind of like a dead rat hanging. It's a very hard shell with a very velvety, soft layer on the outside. This feels like having like a little pet. It's kind of nice. The shell on this is relatively thin, at least on this variety. There are some varieties with thicker shells, and those does take a lot of effort to open. You might want to crack it on something. This one, let's see if I can do it with just my hands. Yeah, just like that. And there it is. There's the inside. Very, very white on the inside. Very, very dry. This is a fruit that dehydrates when it's ripe. So this is never juicy. You know, when you want to eat it, you don't want this to be wet inside at all. You want it to be a nice white color and very powdery, like it is here. When these get a little too ripe, they start turning brown. They might get moldy on the inside. So here's one little clump, just a little bit of flesh surrounding the seed. And how you eat this is that you suck on it, you get that flesh off. Not everybody likes this fruit, but I actually like it a lot. It tastes like a little bit like yogurt and a little bit sour, like lemons. Some people say it tastes like tamarind. I don't really agree with that. The seeds on the inside are quite small and brown. This particular variety has soft seeds where you can actually bite through it. Other varieties, they're very hard, and you need to crack it with a hammer if you want to eat it. It's got a little white kernel on the inside. The shell around the kernel is quite tough, so I don't like to... I think you can eat it. There's nothing wrong with it, but it kind of tastes like nut shell. You know, so I'm gonna just get rid of that. And what the kernel on the inside tastes like to me, it's like Brazil nuts. A nice fattening sort of nut flavor, but like a little bit of like
acid sort of flavor the way that Brazil nuts have. You know, some people say Brazil nuts have like a little bit like a vomit type flavor, which I don't really think that they do, but I get it. There's like a little bit of a sourness to a Brazil nut that you wouldn't get from another kind of nut. So if you don't like Brazil nuts, you probably won't like this. The nut flavor is really, really good. The fruit flavor is really, really good, but they're good separately. If you just eat this whole thing like on its own, and you mix those flavors together, it's not very tasty. They don't go. These are very useful. You can do a lot of things with the baobab. The flesh on this, people will crush it with a mortar and pestle, and they'll take that powder and they'll make juice out of it.
It does have the lemony yogurty flavor to it, but what's interesting about it is that it's not like a very full flavor, like pear juice or like coconut water. Not in flavor so much, but it has that kind of like very like base, like flat kind of flavor. It's not like bold or sharp, it's just kind of like a mild drink. I'd say the sourness on this is like a 2 out of 10. Sweetness is still quite low, but it seems like they added like a little bit of sugar. So it's like maybe like a 3 out of 10 for sweetness. This is something that I would get if I wanted like a replacement for water. You know, like instead of having like lemon water, you can have like baobab water.
Baobab seeds, those, they can be eaten raw on their own. They could be roasted lightly and be eaten like a peanut, basically. Or you can roast them a little bit further and you can grind them and make a coffee substitute out of it. And it's actually a pretty convincing coffee substitute. Not exactly like coffee, but close enough. It does have like a similar enough flavor where you could do that. The shell on this is also useful. You can use this as a vessel. You know, you can make cups out of it or bowls. I made some incense holders out of some that I've had in the past. I've seen people selling baobabs with like carvings on the outside. Those are kind of cool. A nightmare to take through customs, but you know, they do, people sell them at like souvenir shops around here. The tree is incredibly useful as well. They hold like a lot of water. They could hold over 32,000 gallons of water actually, and people tap it for a water source.
So this tree here actually has some recent damage done to it. You can see this is not healed over at all. That is the inside of the baobab. I mean, it's tragic to see this, but it does outline one thing, is that sponginess inside. Because this is like very flaky skin. You can see that, like if I wanted to, I could peel at this probably with my fingers and scratch out a big chunk of it.
The bark is used.
We're gonna go into complaints here already. And you see like all the bark is missing. People tear the bark off. We actually saw it for sale in the market. So we have baobab bark here. We're not sure exactly what people do with it, but it's for sale at the market. Steven says that it's used for alcohol, he's heard?
Yeah, that's what Nero was saying.
Eric's hypothesis?
Was to make to open fire, maybe?
To make fire.
Charcoal.
For charcoal.
Yes.
For like kindling.
Yeah, kindling.
Me, I think people just are trying to sell it because it's cool. I don't know. Who knows? So people use the bark for something, and it's not good for the tree to do that. It's not going to kill the tree, but it's not healthy. You know, these trees are very fragile, and that is not cool. So you just found this on the ground.
Yeah.
Do you think this is what they're using to strip the bark off?
Yeah.
Yeah, just like a sharp piece of metal here. Well, I'm gonna make it more difficult for the next person. Yeah. Sad, man. Very sad.
The trees can be very, very big as well. There are some places around the world that have found very interesting uses for the trees.
This is the largest tree that's nearby the Avenue of the Baobabs. And it's still fairly small as far as baobabs go. Steven said that you've actually been to a baobab tree in South Africa that was how big?
I mean, it was a couple 100 feet long.
That's big.
It had a bar and restaurant inside that sat 17 people.
That's big. That's very big.
In another country, another African country, I forget which one, there is a tree known as the leper tree. It was growing in a leper colony. Whenever someone would die from leprosy, they would chuck the bodies in. So you can go to this tree and it's just like full of all these bones. I kind of want to go there, but I think it might give me nightmares for the rest of my life, but you know, that's nothing new. You know, there's some that have a decent hole in it, so people can put stuff in it if they so chose.
So this baobab has a little hole in it, and it's like totally big enough to go inside, but I'm kind of terrified of it because I'm imagining that people just like pee in here. I mean, I would.
We rented a car and been driving around the country, and I just like had one of these baobabs the whole way, eating it as like a road snack, and it was just kind of like the perfect kind of thing. Like if you want something sweet, or if you want something savory, you just like want something that's like also nutritious, you know, like a nutritious snack while you're going. Like this is kind of perfect for that. I put it in the pocket behind the seat and just kind of been like picking at it for the past few days, and getting like a little bit sick of it now, but I think this is something that I'm probably gonna miss when I get back home. These are very tricky to find outside of Africa and Australia. There's a few people who grow it, I think, in California and Florida. It's not gonna be anytime soon where you start seeing this at markets, unfortunately. Even in Madagascar, this is pretty hard to find. I only really saw this in the West.
So here we are at the Avenue of the Baobabs, and oh my god, this is like a painting. It doesn't even look real. And on the side of the road there's like baobab vendors selling the fruit and little refreshments and such. Salama! They all want us to buy their stuff. But yeah. Holy crap. So this feels very surreal right now. Walking down the avenue of the Baobabs after just seeing photos of it for so long. This place is actually very, very touristy. Like, we've been seeing tourists everywhere, but they all come here on tour groups for the most part, and they all want to come here at sunset. Right now, we're alone. I mean, there's locals here, but that's it. There's not one other foreigner here. If you come here during the day, it's probably the best way if you want it to yourself. If you want to get the sunset and you get like that cool red color, come here for sunset. I'm sure it's going to be amazing. For us, though, we wanted not to get that. We wanted to, you know, look at it through more of like a scientific aspect of it. So we came during the day. So fun facts about baobabs. Here's cotton. Cotton is related to baobabs. I've never seen cotton plant up close. It's a fruit, right? Eat it.
You really want me to?
No. It's cool, man. What are some other things that are related to baobabs?
Okra.
Okra. That's one. Same family, right? Mm-hmm. And you said durian?
Durian is, and so is theobroma, or cacao.
Yep.
And so is kola nut.
Kola nut, which we had. So baobabs are related to a lot of things. So fun fact about baobabs is you see this bat here. This is known as a popo, and it is a bat that really loves the baobab fruit, and it's one of the pollinators of the baobab trees. So it's not pollinated by bees or flies or lizards. It is pollinated by a bat. That's pretty hardcore. Here are some more fun facts. Some of the baobab trees in this area are actually over 800 years old. Some people refer to the baobab tree as the upside down tree. That's because the tops of it kind of look like roots. Arabic sailors that came to this area about 1,000 years ago actually thought that these trees were the product of the devil, and the reason why they look the way that they do is because the devil pulled all of the trees out of the ground, turned them upside down, and then shoved them back into the earth. Alright, we're walking to the big one. This one might actually be bigger than the last one we saw. Wow. I don't know if this one's bigger, but it is very interesting looking because it's like tapered at the top and wider at the bottom. It's got such a bizarre shape. It looks kind of like a bonsai tree. It's like this little tamarind tree. And some people say that baobab actually tastes like tamarind. I don't think it does, but tamarind and baobab apparently do get along. Those big chunks taken out of it just kind of like break my heart. But this tree is gorgeous. I want to do like a selfie, but these trees are just so freaking big. I can't even fit it in. I almost wonder if like people climb this thing. Like these are like holes to hold onto. This like looks like a rock climbing wall. Like my fingers fit in there perfectly. Like I could climb this if I wanted to. What? Look at that. That's a handle. That is a total handle. Look at that. That cannot be an accident. Somebody climbed this, I think. I mentioned it, so now I have to do it, right? So let's climb the tree. I'm not gonna go very far because if I fall, I'll break my head open. But that can be climbed. I'm developing a conspiracy theory that somebody climbed this thing to get those tamarind pods. Or maybe they were just some dick. They might have just been a jerk. I don't know. Do you want to climb it?
All right, you know, I'll
You're supposed to say no, hell no. You're crazy.
well, I mean, I can't go up as far as you, though.
This is total foddy, by the way. We are like insulting the entire country by doing this. I'm sorry. I didn't. That was graceful. I didn't even like think about that while I was doing it. So if that is foddy, I do apologize.
Okay, as I'm climbing it, you say it.
There you go, he did it. All the way to the top. It's a shame that I couldn't record the whole thing. My battery died. But you made it all the way to those top branches there. But there's no fruit up there, huh?
Not that I can see.
Alright. These trees have tags on them. Somebody's like keeping track of all the trees here. And there's also a painted ones, which is good. You know, they're counted. You know, so if somebody were to chop down one of these trees, as apparently they've been trying to do, then you know about it. Well, everyone, it's time to acknowledge the elephant in the room. I built up Madagascar in my mind as this beautiful, lush place full of incredible plants. From the moment we walked off the plane, it was like getting a bucket of cold water thrown at us. The entire country is devastated by deforestation, and that reality became more and more sobering as we slowly made our way to the avenue of the Baobabs. This iconic image of Madagascar and what seemed to be such a symbol of plant diversity ended up being the most tragic crescendo of what we were seeing on this trip. We just like walked the whole distance. It's not that far. Like that's the last tree, and then there's a huge stretch with none, and you see like a couple further on in the distance there. From one end to the other, it took maybe 5 minutes to walk. Although we're in Baobab Avenue, all around there are baobabs. Those kids running, it's beautiful here. But like, yeah, the baobabs go on into the distance, and you see them like all over the place here. They're peppered through. It's just like isolated tree, like baobab, and then you go like 100 feet and there's another one. Like they're very spaced out. And the reason for that is that people cut them down. This used to be like a huge forest of baobabs, and people just like cut them the hell down. You know, I try not to make this channel like too preachy or political or anything like that. It's all about just like eating fruit. But it is shocking how bad the deforestation is in Madagascar. It's like horrific. And we drove from like one end all the way to the other. And the entire way, you just see landscape of nothing. Or farms. But it used to be all forests. And what the locals do is they cut down the trees like everywhere in order to make charcoal out of.
Eric is buying charcoal. It's a big, gigantic bag. They're loading it up on the top of the
truck, van. For you, I'm just getting the bag. Yeah. So one of those big bags costs how much, Eric?
10,000 Tariari.
10,000. So it's like
It's in,
$3.
But in the capital, it's 50,000 Tariari.
50.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And 80% of Malagasy people is cook the meat with the charcoal.
Yeah.
The food with the charcoal.
Most people use it.
Most of people.
Yeah. So you just bought like 4 bags?
Yeah.
How long will 4 bags last you?
4 bags, it's around 4 months.
4 months. Okay, so 1 bag a month.
1 bag a month. Yeah.
Okay. You can't be too mad at the locals for doing this because they don't have much choice. People out in these villages don't have a lot of options in order to make money. There are a few places where you can see other things for sale, like bricks or mangoes, but in a country where electricity is scarce, people need charcoal in order to get by. So it's very common to see roadside vendors like this because they need some sort of income and this is accessible. It's not like an evil industry. It's not like palm oil in Indonesia or anything. This is all local. Like, it's really kind of tragic seeing it. All around me would have been this huge freaking forest of these gigantic, amazing trees. But now all you see are these like isolated trees separated out like this. So it's only like a small shadow of like what it used to be. I feel like so weird inside because I'm enchanted. Like, I'm running around through here and I'm having such a great time. These trees are beautiful looking, and just seeing these up close after only seeing photos for so long is absolutely breathtaking. But at the same time, I'm sad. And it's really promising though, because there are efforts now, it seems, to regrow some of the baobabs. So these things here, walking in originally passed them off as being garbage bins of some kind, but actually it's far more beautiful than garbage. In here are little baby baobab trees. Aw. This is from February 2017. Look at that. That's what the baobab tree looks like after nearly 2 years, right? As I film this, it's November of 2018. Look at that. Look at that. Almost 2 years of growth, and that's what you get. It's little baby baobab. Still adorable. The side of the road here leading into the avenue of the baobabs is somewhere where they're growing little seedlings. And they have like a different species. There's grenadieri, and over here is another one, Rubro stipa. So that's really cool. I think there's a lot that can be done to help this, and hopefully that's what this means. These little trees are just like one step in that direction, where pretty soon Madagascar will have all of its forests back. Because right now I don't know, it's a very conflicting place to be. Because it's absolutely beautiful, but also really hard to see at the same time. This is the worst deforestation that I've seen, and I've been to 21 countries. Steven was saying this is the worst that he's seen, and he's been to like over 50. So it's yeah, it's a lot to take in. So now you are an idiot. Rita, Tapaka, screw you. Nad, you're a nad. You don't even need to try it for that one. Salone, you're dumb. Can't even have enough insults for everybody. There's just like too many. Look at this shit. This is terrible. This looks more graffiti than the subways in New York City. And that is a bold statement. This tree is cool looking because it's got these big trunk here and then these two little ones coming off the side of it. But it just makes me like instantly sad because look at all that graffiti all over the whole damn thing.
Someone hammered in here.
And then also they stripped off all the bark and they hammered it too.
Yeah, I see someone hammered.
They hammered like spikes into it. Why don't you just piss on it and spit on it? Ugh, it makes me so mad. I come all the way from the other side of the world to look at these trees, and all these people with their stupid name on it like they're important.
This country has some of the richest amount of native species and Hinduism of anywhere in the world, and this tree here, right here, is an example of, you know, this tree's been stunted.
And everybody's like burning their land. Like, what is bad with that? You were telling me about like soil erosion before.
Yeah, so it causes a lot of soil erosion. You lose what's called the O layer, which is the layer of humus on the top, and then you lose your A layer. And a lot of the soils are heavily eroded, and it causes something called desertification. So it gets drier and drier and drier. When it does rain, the rain just washes off. You have mass movement or landslides, and a general decrease in the happiness of people because there's not as much. They can't produce as much food on the land they have.
It looks like a desert as you're driving through, but we're not in a desert.
Yeah.
we were like in the mountains, and it looks like a desert.
If you look, they've got like mango trees and like papaya trees. They don't need to water them or anything. It's because it rains all the time. It's a desert because everything's been cut down, burned, and then burned again. And then they burn it again just for good measure.
Yeah, and then it's just getting worse and worse, and the soil is just like useless then.
Yeah, the soil becomes useless. We went through entire valleys where just stumps everywhere, and then they're still trying to burn it.
Like, what is something that people can do at this point?
Well, they need to practice some sustainable agricultural techniques. You know, systems like permaculture, planting trees that you can use afterwards instead of just cutting them down and cutting them down and cutting them down and cutting them down and cutting them down. Yeah. There doesn't really seem to be much of any tree planting here, or, you know, reuse of resources. You know, they could produce as much wood by letting that area grow a little longer, get a little bigger, and then cut it down. You know, instead of waiting till the tree's this tall and then cutting it down and then burning it.
I came here expecting like just to be this like enchanted by everything, and I mean I am, but
it's a beautiful country, but we've seen a lot less nature than I was expecting. And even when we went to Ranamafana, the forest we went to weren't even original forests. We went through a forest of guava trees.
We came here expecting so much diversity, and there is, but it's going fast. It's like it's being chopped down and burned up like so fast here that, you know, I feel like I'm happy that I'm getting here when I am, because I think if we came here like 10 years from now, a lot of the things that we found are probably not going to be here anymore.
One of the good examples of that is with the tapia fruit. There's just one village, and it's the only spot along the entire road where there was any tapia trees left, because they realized that they can sell it for 11 cents a kilo. And there's also supposed to be types of mushrooms that live off of it, and that are edible, and they make silk out of the worms that live in it. And there's this entire economy based on it. Even then, you can still, the edges of it are still burning down.
Yeah, even with that, there's only such a small amount of it.
You know, even though there are some sad points, it is still great to experience the world and see all of the things out there, because if you don't go, then how are you going to know?
Yeah.
You know, you hear about the burning of the rainforest and, you know, the palm plantations of Indonesia and Malaysia, but you don't really hear about what's happened here in Madagascar. You just hear about the Madagascar movie, and they could have made a good point and, you know, really helped Madagascar out, but instead, you know, showed a bunch of cute lemurs.
It's very striking to come to a place where I expected there to be so much diversity in the plant life, and then being met like with this horrible problem, which I had no idea about. I was expecting like lush rainforests everywhere and like stuff like that. People like crazy amounts of fruit everywhere, and there's quite a decent amount, but yeah, there's a lot that's lost. So, Anyway, I think this is probably the last video of this trip to Madagascar, so I hope that you learned something, as I have, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time. Say bye, Steven.
Bye, Steven.
Oh, terrible. Just imagine all of these 1,000 years from now, just like towering in that avenue over there. That's a nice thought. Let's hope that happens. Well, I really hope you enjoyed that video, guys. If you did, you may want to check out the video that is below me right now. That should be good too. Also, if you haven't subscribed already, it is a huge help to my channel, so please do consider subscribing or clicking that bell. That does something too. Not sure what it is. Also, check out the description below. There's all sorts of other things I have going on. I don't even know anymore. But guys, I will see you next time. Take care.